Okay, hello second graders. Today we are looking at lesson 5-1. They are going to be asking us to subtract tens and ones on a hundreds chart. So that's the strategy we're going to be looking at today is that hundreds chart. And you're going to find that on page 255. So you can go ahead and please get your books out. If you don't yet have them. I'm going to share my workspace with you. And you can see here, we're on lesson 5-1, brand new topic. Page 255 is the page number we're looking at. And on that first page, you can see Jada here with a hundreds chart. And she has a story that I'm going to go ahead and read for you now. She says, how can you use the hundreds chart to help you find 57 minus 23? Explain. Write an equation. Okay, so she's asking us how we can use the hundreds chart to help us find 57 minus 23. And then she wants us to explain, and we'll be explaining as we go. And then finally, we're being asked to write an equation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by writing that equation out down here, just to help me visually with what my equation is. 57 minus 23 is what I'm being asked to solve for. Here's my hundreds chart. So I'm going to go ahead and start by finding 57 on my chart. Just to kind of review, if you are looking at the hundreds chart going across, we count by ones going across. If you're looking at them going from top to bottom, they count by tens. So notice here we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So each time, essentially, they're adding a rod or counting by tens. That's true wherever you start. So if I started here at 6, you'll notice each time they add 10. 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86, 96. Notice each time they're counting by tens, okay? So that means that if I'm going up on the number grid, I'm going to be getting smaller by 10 each time, right? That makes sense. If I go down and I'm getting bigger by 10, then that means coming up, I'm getting smaller by 10. Okay, same thing as I'm going across with my ones. So each time I jump to the side here, I'm getting bigger by 1, but if I go back the opposite way, I'm going to be getting smaller by 1. Okay, so let's just kind of keep that in mind as we go. So again, I'm going to find 57. I'm going to circle it. There we go. And I know from there I need to subtract 23. Okay, well, we just talked about how to count by tens on a number grid. So I know going up and down is how I count by tens. If I want to get smaller, because I'm taking away by 2 tens, notice I have 2 tens in 23, then that means I would jump up 2 tens. So I go from 57 to 47 to 37. Okay, so I essentially jumped back 2 tens, 10, 20. Okay, now from here, I see I also have 3 ones that I need to take away, right? So I'm going to be getting smaller by 1, which means I'm going to be jumping this way on my number line. So I'm going to jump 1, 2, and 3. And where do I land? I see I land at 34. Okay, so 57 take away 23 gives me a sum of 34. Okay, all right. So we're going to go ahead and turn the page now and get some more practice using a number grid. So once again, Jada is here on the top, and she does have a number grid. Now notice the number grid that she is using is just a partial one. So it starts here at 21 and it goes to 50. It's not a complete number grid, but we're going to use it the same way. So in my first box, it says find 43, take away 28 using a hundreds chart. And Jada says, I need to find the difference between 28 and 43. Well, that's true, right? Because when we're solving for a subtraction equation, our answer is called the difference. Okay, so she's just reminding us of that. So she decides to start at 28, count to the next number that matches the ones in the 43. Okay, so what she's doing is sort of using a related fact, right? Instead of starting at 43 and jumping back 28, she's going to start at 28 and count on until she gets to 43. Okay, so that's another strategy that you can use. So here we go, she's at 28. And first she starts jumping by ones. She jumps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when she gets to that 33, she's noticing that the 3 in the ones place is the same as the number she's targeting, which is 43. So she stops counting by ones there. Okay. She does that because now she can just count by tens. Okay, so if she goes down 10 spaces or 10, she lands right where she needs to be at 43. Okay, so how many did she have to jump all together? Let's recap. She did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 10 for a total of 15. Okay, so she says count by ones. I counted 5 ones to get from 28 to 33. That, okay, and then she went down. That's 110 or 10 more. Okay, good. So to sum up, she says, I added 5 and 10, and that makes 15. So 28 plus 15 equals 43, which is related to 43, take away 28, and that will give us 15. Okay, all right, let's look at a guided practice. And the directions are asking us to subtract using the hundreds chart. Draw arrows if you need to. Okay, so our first equation says 69 minus 36. So I'm going to find 69 on my hundreds chart. I can see here it is. Okay. Now what they decided to do, the strategy that they used was a related fact. They started with 36 and they kept jumping on until they got to 69, right? So here's my 36. And they're going to keep counting on until they get to 69, and then they're going to count the difference that they had to jump in between. So if we start counting by ones, 1, 2, 3, and then we land at 39, and from there we're going to count by 10. So I start 3, going down would be 13, down again would be 23, and down again would be 33. So I had to jump a total of 33. Okay, let's try number 2. My equation is 54 minus 24. Okay, so I'm going to look here on my number line. You look with me, and you're going to find 54 on your number line, or I'm sorry, number grid, and I'm going to find 54 on my number grid, which is here, 54. And from that, I'm going to take away 24. So I'm going to be getting smaller, right? Because I'm taking away. So I'm going to start with my tens. I see I have 10 and 20. That takes me to 34. And now I have 4 ones that I have to jump back, right? I'm going to be getting smaller. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I see I land at 30. 30. Okay, so 54 minus 24 equals 30. Now, let's say I wanted to check that, just to make sure. 54, what does that look like? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. There's my 54. And I want to take away 24 from that. So I'm going to take away 10 and 20. And I'm going to take away 21, 22, 23, 24. And I'm left with 10, 20, 30. There we go. Same answer, right? Okay, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says something, they don't tell us the difference, equals 65 minus 34. So I'm going to find 65 on my number grid. Here I am right here, 65. And I'm going to jump back 34. So I know I have 3 10s, 10, 20, 30. And now I have to jump back 4 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I land at 31. So 31 equals 65 plus 34. Okay, let's go ahead and check that with another strategy. Let's try it with, let's say a number grid. Okay, a number grid, a number line. Let's try with the number line, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and use the space right here. I'm gonna draw a number line right here. I'm gonna start at 65. Remember, I'm just checking my answer, and I need to jump back 34. So I'm gonna jump back 3 10s, taking my first 10 away, and I land at 55. Taking my second 10 away, and I'm landing at 45. And I'm taking one more 10 away, and I'm landing at 35. And then I also need 4 ones, because I have 4 in my ones place. So I'm going to do minus 4, 35 minus 4. So I have 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. I took back 4, right? And I landed at 31. Look at that, boys and girls. 31, same answer, right? Okay, good. So we were able to check it. All right, and finally, number 4 is 47 minus 22. So I'm going to find 47 on my number grid. Let's see, here's my 47. You can circle it on yours also. And then we're going to jump back 22. So I'm going to start with my 10s, jumping back, so I'm going to be getting smaller. 10, 20, and then I have 2 1s that I'm going to get smaller by. 1, 2. And I see I land at 25. Okay, so I'm going to fill in my answer here, 25. And let's go ahead and check it with a strategy. 47 minus 22 is what I'm working with. So we can, how about we line up 10s and 1s for this one? 47 minus 22. Here's a nice little space right here that I can write that equation out at. Minus, just gonna separate my 10s here and my 1s. Okay, so now my 1s, I have 7 minus 2. I'm gonna use my regrouping or traditional strategy. 7 minus 2 is going to give me 5. And 4 minus 2 is going to give me 2 for a total of 25. Look at that. 25 is also what I got on my number grid. Okay, so it all checks out. So checking your answers is a good strategy to use because a hundreds chart is probably, I'm going to say, of all the strategies we have, hundreds charts are probably the ones that we have the least amount of practice with because we haven't been using a lot of hundreds charts. Although in your toolkit, let me grab mine from here. In your toolkit, I did provide you, this might be my first grade toolkit, but I did provide you with a hundreds chart in here. It's on a green sheet. So if you want to use that, while you're going through this, you're welcome to do that too. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at your assignment then for today. So for independent practice, they're asking us to subtract, using the hundreds chart. And here's one that they provide for us. You're going to draw arrows if you need to. Okay, so just like we did over here as we were jumping back and we were showing where we were jumping, you can do that on here, but they're not saying that you have to. Okay, all right, so you're going to be completing numbers 5 through 11. And just be careful because sometimes they do it the traditional way where they say 54 minus 7 equals and you have to write the difference at the end. But sometimes they ask you for the difference at the beginning. Like here, something equals 96 minus 63. Okay, But again, we don't let that bother us. We just know the equal sign just means it has to be the same on both sides. Okay, it's just a little part that we have to balance that. Okay, so that's your assignment for today. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and reach out. We can talk about it after our Google Meet also next time. But other than that, I hope you guys have a really great day. I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care. All right, guys. Bye.